Mercury. The Vedic name for this planet is given Buddha, one of the brightest stars in the zodiac, always near to the sun and gets more heat from the sun. How the Mercury explains himself in his autobiography. He says, I was a bright child. I was very beautiful, loved by all, and my father Moon used to love me a lot, but was deprived of the lap of the mother. I always asked, who is my mother? He always used to pretend, no, don't ask. Then he told me a story. He said that Jupiter, named Brihaspati, had two wives. Brihaspati used to be very busy in his own affairs of teaching and doing research on medicine, the Indian science. The second wife, Tara, was beautiful, and Moon said, I got attracted towards her. First of all, she didn't give me any care, but I continued going there. One day, I eloped with her consent, and lived with her for 12 years. The Jupiter came to know it is Moon who has kidnapped my wife. He requested the gods to fight with Moon, who was under the protection of a demon called Virocha. To avoid the fight between the gods and the demons, the Lord Brahma, the creator, intervened and forced Moon to return the wife of the Jupiter, whereas some of the gods wanted to burn her alive as she has done wrong. But as per the mentality or the thinking of the gods to forgive, they said no, she has to go back. When she came back, it was Mercury, 12-year-old boy, holding her finger. More insistent, she couldn't resist herself and told the truth. It is the son of Moon. After a lot of discussion, Mercury was given back to Moon. The creator thought of my mind, I was a teenager, that what I will think about the gods. He said, you will be like-minded and with all the qualities and potentials with whomsoever you go, or with whomsoever the company you make or the friends you make. You will be known as the prince of the zodiac, but never be able to meet your mom, never be able to meet your mother, because the Jupiter will be angry. So I always kept away from my mother. I could never see my mother again in my life. That's what. After telling the story by my father Moon, I started roaming around. Nobody knew my heart. One side was burnt because of the heat of the sun. The other side looked brighter. I never saw me whether I'm round or oval. Sometimes I used to meet Mars. He taught me all the sciences or everything about the battlefield to straighten my own means in my own way. Because of roaming all around, I became well versed in almost all the sciences, especially the mathematics. My mathematics was wonderful. I used to calculate anything in fraction of second, but by heart I was alone. I didn't have much friends, as all were older than me. I was a child. One day, happiness came to my life. A very beautiful girl known as Ela came to my life. We fell in love. We used to roam around all the mountains, water places, and through the help of Venus, sometimes to the heaven. And Mars really loved me. He used to take me and Ela to teach archery and sword and other things. I also met Saturn. He taught me the patience, the education he gave me. But I felt myself old when I was with the Saturn. I loved my wife, Ela. After 1 year, we had a very beautiful son. I named him as Puru, or full name as Pururva. When my son got 5-year-old, one day Ela was sitting alone. I asked what it is. She said, I want to tell something, my past life. I insisted her, please don't tell, I can't lose you. She said, no, now is the time, I must tell who I am. Then she told me one story. She said, after doing a great tapa, one Manu, the first man on the earth, wished for a son, but he got daughter. When he was coming back to his kingdom, on the way he met some saints, and saints took him to an empire, and by that time that girl was of 16-year-old, a marriageable age. Loved hunting, going to the mountains, going to the jungles, and hunting was his passion. I used to remain at home. One day, that prince went to the caves and found a beautiful cave. He occupied that cave. He was not coming out. But husband and wife, the occupier of the cave, Yaksh and the Yakshini, named, they played a game with the prince. They said, go to a jungle which is beautiful and you will find lot of hunting. That prince couldn't stop himself due to the passion of hunting. He went for hunting, and that was a place of conjugation of Lord Shiva and Parvati, and no male was allowed. Due to the curse of Lord Shiva, that prince turned into a woman. The prince fell in grief and sadness. Then one day he met a saint. He said, you worship Lord Shiva, only he can help you. Then Lord Shiva got happy with him. He said, when you will marry and your son will be 5-year-old, only then you will come to your own shape. And my original name is Il, not Ela. And this is a time when I am going to be turned into a man and the prince again, and I have to leave my son and you today. So the Ela left and I fell in grief. But after a very small time, I started playing with my son alone. And I enjoyed it, sometimes in grief. But when I got angry, I can't see my mother, I don't have my wife. I got a wife which turned into a male or a man and left me after that. I got furious. When I get furious, even God and goddesses couldn't bear me. Lot of rainfall on the earth, lot of earthquakes on the earth, and even a different type of weather changes took place. When my son asked for a mother, I used to tell him, I am your father and I am your mother. I knew a son without a mother, how will he feel? I could step into his shoes. I was also known as the messenger of the gods in many philosophies. And whenever there is a change in weather, people call me, the mercury has gone down or gone up. If we analyze this story, we will know the qualities of the mercury. It's first of all, it is philosophy, education, mathematics, astronomy, astrology, speech, bad dreams, impotence, eunuchs, beauty at the very first instance, grief at heart, paternal relations, crooked look, renunciation, weather, earthquakes, temple and pilgrimage, holy places, message,